This is Oakland, throbbing heart of the metropolitan East, which includes outstanding counties of Alameda and Contra Costa. It is also the home of the Oakland Raiders of the American Football League, a team which has, under the direction of general manager and head coach Al Davis, enjoyed such a phenomenal growth the past 3 years that it is now being referred to as the coming organization in professional football.
Hello, I'm Bob Bloom, speaking from the new Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, the site of the new home for the Oakland Raiders, a team that has captured the imagination of professional football fans everywhere. Although the Raiders are looking forward to new home in 1966, let's take a few moments and look back to the exciting games played in 1965.
1965 was a stirring year for the Raiders, beginning with a 3-2 preseason record, then a dramatic regular season schedule, which saw the Raiders battle for the American Football League Western Division flag right down to the closing weeks of play. The Raiders matched division champion San Diego's 8 wins, but lost out on percentage points. The Raiders waged the rugged campaign without veteran quarterback Cotton Davidson, who was injured in training camp, and with from 4 to 6 rookies starting during the season. Even after losing a tense final seconds game to the champion Buffalo Bills, the Oaklanders hung tough. It wasn't until the next to final weekend that the percentage points eliminated the Fighting Silver and Black. Now let's take a look at close-ups of some of the 1965 Raiders. Bill Budness, middle linebacker from Boston University. Billy Cannon, the Heisman Trophy winner from LSU. Big Ben Davidson, defensive end from the University of Washington. Tommy Flores, quarterback from the University of Pacific. Fearsome Isaac Lassiter, defensive end from St. Augustine. Art Powell, offensive end from San Jose State. Fred Biletnikoff, flanker back from Florida State. Kent McLuhan, defensive cornerman from the University of Nebraska. Gus Otto, corner linebacker from the University of Missouri. Offensive tackle Bob Swias, University of Southern California. Larry Todd, offensive halfback from Arizona State. And Harry Shue, offensive tackle from Memphis State. One of the key factors in the Raiders' success, assistant coaches. Here's offensive back coach Johnny Rauch, former pro star, All-American quarterback at Georgia. Tom Dobbs, little All-American from San Diego State, 8-year pro veteran. The defensive line coach. Here's the offensive line coach, Ollie Spencer, former Kansas All-American, an outstanding pro player. And the defensive back coach, Charlie Sumner, one of William & Mary's all-time greats and a fine pro for 6 years. The Raiders open the regular season at home against Kansas City. Oakland wins the toss and elects to receive. Fine crowd on hand for opening day at Ewell Field. Tommy Brooker kicks off for the Chiefs, and the 1965 season is underway. Bo Roberson of Cornell fields at the 1, returns 9 yards to the Raider 10. Rex Mirich of Arizona State at Flagstaff throws a hard block. Neither club can move in 2 series of downs each, and Oakland's Mike Mercer, also of Arizona State at Flagstaff, punts to Frank Jackson, who fair catches at the Kansas City 47. 2 running plays move the Chiefs to the 20, and then Dawson finds fullback Kurt McClinton on a swing pass. The former All-American blasts into the end zone for the first score of the game. Brooker converts, and Kansas City takes an early lead in the first quarter, 7-0. In the second quarter, with Oakland in possession at their own 34, tall Dick Wood is at quarterback, and on 3rd down and 13, we switch to slow motion. The former Auburn star connects with fullback Roger Hagberg. The former Minnesota standout picks up 17 yards and a first down. 2 plays later now, Wood finds tight end Billy Cannon for 24 yards as the Raider drive carries to the Kansas City 20. Hagberg on a delay cracks the middle for 6 yards to the 14. Now Wood fires to Art Powell in front of the defender for the Silver and Black's first score of the 1965 season. Crowd reacts to the fine play. Mercer's kick ties the score at 7-7. After a pair of field goals by the Raiders and one by the Chiefs, we pick up play late in the third quarter. Oakland in possession with 3rd and 8. Wood goes for the distance now, finds Roberson at midfield. The former Olympic broad jumper hustles to the Kansas City 14 before being dragged down. Moments later now, from the 9-yard line, Wood seeks out Powell again. The Raider duo clicks for another score. Mercer converts, and it's 20-10 Oakland. After another Raider field goal and a fumble recovery by the alert Ike Lassiter deep in Kansas City territory, Roger Hagberg bangs the center to the Chiefs' 6. 2 plays later now, Dick Wood rolls out left for another Raider touchdown. The crowd and the Oakland bench express their pleasure. After Mercer's conversion, Oakland takes a 30-10 lead. The Raiders put the capper on a fine opening day victory with this 58-yard touchdown punt return by Hoot Gibson. Let's look at that play again as we'll switch to slow motion, just as the former North Carolina State star catches the football. The run shows Hoot's exceptional balance and some outstanding blocking. The lead block thrown by Joe Krakowski of Illinois, and others by Larry Todd, Dan Birdwell, Alan Miller, and Dick Herman. Mercer's conversion makes the final 37-10. The Raiders are out of the blocks fast in the 1965 AFL title race. After a tough 17-6 loss to the San Diego Chargers, the Raiders play their 3rd straight game in the friendly confines of Ewell Field, and they take on the unbeaten Houston Oilers. Raiders come out onto the field, and here in a moment, Raider head coach Al Davis surveys the field before the kickoff. Houston cracks the scoring ice when the veteran quarterback George Blanda hits halfback Ode Burrell on a 52-yard touchdown pass, with Raider linebacker Dan Connors of Miami giving chase all the way to the end zone. Moments later, the Raiders get it back on this sensational Tom Flores to Clement Daniels hookup, good for 69 yards, the longest touchdown of the season for the Silver and Black. The slow motion shows Flores getting fine pass protection blocking from All-League center Jim Otto of Miami and outstanding rookie tackle Harry Shue, number 79 of Memphis State. Daniels, the ex-Prairie View A&M star, takes Flores' toss over the shoulder, easily outdistances the opposition. Mercer's kick makes it 7-7. Second quarter field goal gives Houston a 10-7 lead, but early in the third quarter, the Raiders move briskly from their own 46. Daniels cracks over left tackle for 11 of the Houston 43. Now in slow motion, with Tom Flores faking into the line to Alan Miller of Boston College, getting good protection. He passes to Art Powell, who sneaks behind the defender and high steps into the end zone for the go-ahead score. The Raiders' lead is 14-10 after Mercer's kick. The Oilers, battling to remain unbeaten, charge back late in the fourth quarter, and with young Don Troll at quarterback, recapture the lead on this 4-yard shot to tight end Willie Fraser. Blanda's kick makes it 17-14 Houston with just 4:06 remaining. After a missed 25-yard field goal, time is running out on the embattled Raiders. However, they make their own break when massive Ben Davidson from the University of Washington and tackles Dan Birdwell of Houston, Dave Cost of Utah, forced this fumble recovered on the Houston 17 by Arch Matzis of Michigan State. 63 seconds left now. Flores goes back to pass, looking, hits Art Powell on a narrow sideline completion of the Houston 5. Now he crosses up the Oiler defense by going to fullback Alan Miller for the winning touchdown with just 54 seconds left. Houston's last gasp attempt at victory is thwarted as Hoot Gibson intercepts Don Troll's pass at the Houston 48 and returns it 22 yards. Howie Williams throwing the key block. The Raiders win 21-17 and boost their record to 2-1. Oakland returns to Ewell Field after their Eastern swing, which saw their record go to 3-2-1. The opponent, the Boston Patriots, winless and mean, seeking revenge for an earlier loss to the Silver and Black. The Raiders win the toss and choose to receive. Hoot Gibson takes Justin Kennelly's kickoff 2 yards deep in the end zone, returns it 27 yards to the Raider 25. Fred Biletnikoff, making his first appearance in the regular season, keeps alive the first Raider drive as he goes high to take this Tom Flores toss, good for 18 yards and a first down at the Patriots' 19. Three plays later now, Mike Mercer toes a 22-yard field goal to give the Raiders a 3-0 lead. Mercer adds 2 more field goals, and it isn't until late in the third period that Oakland breaks the TD scoring ice. With 3rd down and 6 on their own 43, Dick Wood throws to Fred Biletnikoff for 12. Now Wood, in slow motion, finds Ken Harak of West Virginia over the middle as the drive carries to the Boston 15. Wood stays with the air game and zeroes in on Art Powell for the score. Gets fine protection from guard Wayne Hawkins, number 65 of UOP, rookie left tackle Bob Swias, number 76 from the University of Southern California. Mercer's kick makes it 16-0 Oakland. Now with Babe Pirelli at quarterback, Boston comes right back, and on this 30-yard toss to Jim Whalen, moving the Patriots inside the Oakland 25. Pirelli doesn't let up and goes to Gino Capoletti, who makes a fine catch for the Patriots' first score of the day. The extra point makes it 16-7 Raiders. Early in the fourth quarter, the Raiders drive again as Dick Wood hits Clement Daniels on a swing pass for 14 and a first down at the Boston 22. Now in slow motion, Wood once again goes to Art Powell for the score. Mercer's kick pushes Oakland's lead to 23-7. Boston battles back for 2 more scores, closing the gap to 23-21. Rookie linebacker Gus Otto puts it out of reach when he intercepts a Babe Pirelli pass in the final minute, returns at 34 yards for a touchdown, giving the Raiders a 30-21 victory and a 4-2-1 record at the season's midpoint. The Raiders invade gigantic Rice Stadium in Houston for a rematch with the Oilers. They jump off to a 3-0 lead on the first of 4 record-setting field goals by Mike Mercer. Here at Houston, the band entertains. A lot of good Texas hospitality. Now watch as the Raiders really blow open the game, and they score 2 touchdowns and another field goal in 5 minutes as the explosion starts with this 34-yard TD hookup from Dick Wood to Clement Daniels. Daniels breaks past linebacker Doug Klein, steps out of a tackle by Tony Banfield, and outraces 2 other defenders to the flag. 4 minutes later, Mercer punches a 17-yard field goal to make the score 13-0. And just over a minute later, the Raiders get another on a Dick Wood to Alan Miller pass. The Oilers fight back with this George Blander to Willie Fraser score to make it 27 at the half. Houston adds another early in the third quarter to close at 20-14. Then from their own 31, the Raiders call on rookie halfback Larry Todd, the club's leading rusher this day, for 2 shots into the line and a first down. Now watch as Dick Wood goes to Clem Daniels for a 57-yard scorcher. Raiders' lead is 27-14 with Mercer's point after. Once again, the Oilers come back on this touchdown plunge by Bobby Jackson, make it 27-21. Then Larry Todd, on a key 3rd and 13 situation, rips off a startling 57 yards to set up a 29-yard field goal, and the score is 30-21. Mercer caps his finest day as a professional with this 45-yard field goal, puts the lid on a 33-21 Oakland win. The First City Bank tells the score in Houston, but in Oakland, the Bank of Commerce has been telling the score for nearly 30 years. Here, Bank President Carol Weaver, Vice President Bill Gorman, and Raider Wayne Hawkins discuss business. For nearly 30 years, the Bank of Commerce has helped build Oakland and the East Bay, building with people, dealing with people, and people have been extremely important in the operation of the bank itself. But as the East Bay is built with the Bank of Commerce, the Bank of Commerce has kept pace with automation and up-to-date full-service banking methods. So as it has for nearly 30 years, the Oakland Bank of Commerce dedicates itself to continued modern banking and banking with people and community service foremost. The Bank of Commerce, the Oakland Bank. The Raiders return home in the thick of the battle for the Western Division flag and on a sloppy field meet the champion Buffalo Bills in one of the season's key games. Fans enjoying themselves no matter the weather. It's plenty watery. Late in the first quarter, the Raiders gain possession on this fine interception by former Nebraska star Kent McClune, who cuts in front of Bo Roberson to make the steal. Now from their own 20, Oakland erupts in 2 plays for a quick score. Dick Wood combines with fullback Alan Miller, who gets open to complete a 39-yard advance. Now Clement Daniels gets the call and breaks over left tackle behind blocks by Ken Rice and Wayne Hawkins, cuts to the right, eluding Butch Bird, gets another fine block by Fred Biletnikoff, and wins the foot race to the end zone. Mercer converts to give Oakland a 7-0 first quarter lead. The Raider defense had many fine moments during the game. Here you see Dan Birdwell and Ike Lassiter nail quarterback Jack Kemp for a loss. Kemp battles back and scrambles for 11 to set up this tying touchdown blast by fullback Billy Joe. Here's Kemp, a fine scrambler. Now Billy Joe hits in for the score. The game develops into a tight defensive struggle in the third quarter, highlighted by this Warren Powers interception. Powers of Nebraska picks off a Kemp toss and returns it 29 yards. Howie Williams of Howard University throws a key block. Early in the fourth quarter, another defensive gem, this fumble recovery by linebacker Dan Connors sets up the Raiders deep in Buffalo territory. Two plays later, Wood fires 25 yards to Daniels for the touchdown. After the conversion, Oakland leads 14-7. The Bills narrow the gap with a field goal. Now we watch Buffalo's tense drive to victory. Key play, this 4th and 6 scrambling completion from the always dangerous Kemp to rookie tight end Paul Costa. Kemp once again proves the thorn in the Raiders' side as he scrambles himself to the Oakland 5 while time slips away. 2 running plays put the ball at the 1 where the Raiders' defense stiffens. On second down, Billy Joe is stopped for no gain when he smacks the center. But on the next play, the Bills' fullback slithers through for the decisive points. Scoreboard clock shows a mere 7 seconds remaining. Despite the loss, the Raiders stay in the Western Division race with a 5-4-1 record and face back-to-back games with the Denver Broncos. 28-20 victory at Denver is highlighted by interceptions returned for touchdowns by Gus Otto and Dave Grayson of Oregon. Here's Raider musical director Del Courtney as his band entertains when the Raiders come right back against the Broncos at Ewell Field. The Silver and Black still in the race, hoping to improve on their 6-4-1 record. Denver's nursing a 3-0 lead in the second quarter when the Raiders boom into Denver territory on this 34-yard Tom Flores to Clem Daniels pass. Now from the 3 and in slow motion, Flores connects for the touchdown that gives Oakland a 7-3 lead. Denver gets one back to regain the lead, and then from his own 40, Flores goes to Daniels again, and another big touchdown play. In the third quarter, Mike Mercer hits the field goal, and then Alan Miller scores on a 2-yard plunge, and the Silver and Black tack up a 24-13 victory. With the season record now at a solid 7-4-1, the Raiders, contending, play host to the New York Jets. Pre-game interest centers on this helicopter brought in to dry out a wet field, and on Joe Namath, the Jets' sensational rookie quarterback, shown here warming up prior to the ballgame. The versatile Raider offense moves well against New York, as indicated by this 34-yard gain in slow motion by Alan Miller on a swing pass. Early in the second quarter, the offense pays off on this 1-yard TD plunge by Clement Daniels. Bob Swias and Wayne Hawkins provide the running room. Later in the quarter, the Raiders boost their lead to 14-0 on this Flores to Powell hookup in slow motion. Tom getting good protection from Jim Otto, Alan Miller, and Bob Swias, among others. Powell takes the pass in the end zone behind Ray Abruzzi on a great catch. The 14-point deficit doesn't bother Namath, and he sparks his club to a pair of third-period scores. The first on this 62-yard completion to Bake Turner. Speedy flanker back and one of the top receivers in the American Football League. The second touchdown on this 40-yard beauty to Don Maynard. In the fourth period, the Raiders pull away with a field goal and a touchdown to win 24-14. Here's the touchdown, a 30-yard ramble by Clem Daniels. The victory sews up second place in the AFL's Western Division, with the division champion Chargers on tap next in the season finale. Going into the game, each club has 8 wins, but the Chargers, with 2 less losses, nailed down the title on percentage points. Raider equipment man Dick Romanski. Pulling out all stops, the Raiders keep alive a drive in this 4th and 10 fake field goal attempt, kicker Mike Mercer throwing 14 yards to Roger Hagberg. On first down, Clem Daniels, behind good blocking by Miller, Rice, and Hawkins, goes for 7 yards. Now Tom Flores goes to Daniels for a quick 3 yards and another first down. Flores again sets the line, again in slow motion. He finds tight end Ken Herock for a big 14 yards to the Charger 4. Then Flores goes to Art Powell for the game's first touchdown. The Raider defense protects the lead with this fine stand at the goal line. On first down, Gene Foster is held to 2 yards when he runs at Dave Costa. Foster tries again, and this time is held to 1 by Ike Lassiter and Dan Birdwell. On third down, John Hadel goes to the air. Warren Powers turns in a sparkling defensive effort to deflect the pass intended for Jack McKinnon. On fourth down, Hadel again goes to McKinnon. The completion is made out of bounds. The ball goes over to Oakland, and the Raider defense is held. Oakland drives back 80 yards, and we pick up the march on the Charger 30. Tom Flores throws to Fred Biletnikoff for a gain of 4. Then Tom seeks out Alan Miller for a 15-yard pickup. Daniels gets the call at right end and is a yard short when stopped by 2 Chargers. Bud Clement goes in on this plunge, and the Raider lead goes to 14-0. But the ever-dangerous champion Chargers tie it up on these 2 John Hadel to Don Norton scoring plays. Now in the fourth quarter, with the score knotted at 14-14, the great Lance Allworth shows all of his skills on this 66-yard TD reception from Don Breaux. Chargers added a field goal later in the period to capture a hard-fought 24-14 victory. Four Raiders distinguished themselves at season's end by being named to the American Football League All-Star team. They were Jim Otto, University of Miami; Clem Daniels, Prairie View A&M; Wayne Hawkins, University of Pacific; and Dave Grayson of Oregon. Those were some of the exciting moments of the 1965 season. Now to tell us of the future in 1966, here's Al Davis, the brilliant general manager and head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Thanks, Bob. Certainly the past 3 years have been memorable ones. And certainly there have been many fine chapters written in Oakland Raider football tradition. And we hope that the years ahead will be the most memorable for our fans and our organization. The growth of the American Football League has been a dynamic one. And the cities that represent the Eastern Division, such as the Boston Patriots with Babe Parilli and John Ewart, the New York Jets with the fabulous Joe Namath, and of course the Houston Oilers and their fine new organization, the champion Buffalo Bills with the very great Jack Kemp, and the latest addition, the Miami Dolphins, will give the Eastern Division a great deal of excitement in 1966. And in our own Western Division, we have the Denver Broncos with Cookie Gilchrist, and the very talented Kansas City Chiefs with Bobby Bell and the sensational Mike Garrett, the Heisman Trophy winner from the University of Southern California, and of course the ever-powerful San Diego Chargers with the great Lance Allworth, make us look forward to 1966 with great anxiety. And so in 1966, the great rivalries continue. The great new stars who came into the American Football League in 1965, like Joe Namath and Paul Costa, and the hardcore veterans that represent our league, like Bobby Bell, Jack Kemp, and Lance Allworth, and the fine new rookies who are coming out of the colleges in 1966 to represent the American Football League, make for a great and dynamic season in the new Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. I want you to know that this is your team, and I hope you'll grow with us as we grow. And I hope, too, we'll see you at the new stadium in 1966.